The story of Heligoland. In order to facilitate the administration of justice throughout their land, it is related that the Frisians commissioned 12 of their wisest men, the Asgir, or elders, to collect the laws of the various families and tribes composing their nation, and to compile from them a code which should be the basis of uniform laws. The elders, having painstakingly finished their task of collecting the miscellaneous information, embarked upon a small vessel to seek some secluded spot where they might conduct their deliberations in peace. But no sooner had they pushed away from shore than a tempest arose, which drove their vessel far out to sea, first on this course and then on that, until they entirely lost their bearings. In their distress, the 12 jurists called upon Forseti, begging him to help them to reach land once again, and the prayer was scarcely ended when they perceived to their utter surprise that the vessel contained a 13th passenger. Seizing the rudder, the newcomers silently brought the vessel around, steering it towards the place where the waves dashed the highest, and in an incredibly short space of time they came to an island where the steersman motioned them to disembark. In awestruck silence, the 12 men obeyed, and their surprise was further excited when they saw the stranger fling his battle-axe, and a limpid spring gush forth from the spot on the greensward where it fell. Imitating the stranger, all drank of this water without a word. Then they sat down in a circle, marveling because the newcomer resembled each one of them in some particular, but yet was very different from any one of them in general aspect and mien. Suddenly, the silence was broken, and the stranger began to speak in low tones, which grew firmer and louder as he proceeded to expound a code of laws which combined all the good points of the various existing regulations which the Asgir had collected. His speech being finished, the speaker vanished as suddenly and mysteriously as he had appeared, and the 12 jurists, recovering power of speech, simultaneously exclaimed that Forseti himself had been among them, and had delivered the code of laws by which the Frisians should henceforth be judged. In commemoration of the god's appearance, they declared the island upon which they stood to be holy, and they pronounced a solemn curse upon any who might dare to desecrate its sanctity by quarrel or bloodshed. Accordingly, this island, known as Forseti's Land, or Heligoland, or the Holy Land, was greatly respected by all northern nations, and even the boldest Vikings refrained from raiding its shores, lest they should suffer shipwreck or meet a shameful death in punishment for their crime. Solemn judicial assemblies were frequently held upon the sacred isle, the jurists always drawing water and drinking it in silence, in memory of Forseti's visit. The waters of his spring were, moreover, considered to be so holy that all who drank of them were held to be sacred, and even the cattle who had tasted of them might not be slain. As Forseti was said to hold his assizes in spring, summer, and autumn, but never in winter, it became customary in all northern countries to dispense justice in those seasons, the people declaring that it was only then, when the light shone clearly in the heavens, that right could become apparent to all, and that it would be utterly impossible to render an equitable verdict during the dark winter season. Forseti is seldom mentioned, except in connection with Balder. He apparently had no share in the closing battle, in which all the other gods played such prominent parts. So that was the story of Heligoland, the final section of Chapter 12 of Myths of the Norsemen by Helene A Guerber, Forseti. I will be working my way through this book section by section, and if there are any other public domain books that you would like for me to read, please leave a comment below. Did you enjoy this video? Then subscribe for more, and be sure to check me out on Facebook and Patreon. Thank you for listening, and have a lovely evening.